Welcome to the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast, where we focus on everyday wellness for everyone. I'm Adrienne Wheat, a registered nurse, here to share tips, habits, and lifestyle shifts that can help you feel your best by stabilizing blood sugar and improving your overall health. Everything we discuss is designed for general health and routine education because everyone deserves to feel empowered with the right information. But I'm not your personal nurse, so make sure to check with your healthcare provider before making any changes. Let's dive into today's episode. Hi there, friends. Welcome back to the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast, the place where we ditch the overwhelm and take real practical steps toward balanced blood sugar, steady energy, and feeling amazing in your own skin. I'm your host, Adrienne Wheat, and today's episode is for you if you've ever felt like you're putting in the work, making the changes, and yet the scale isn't budging, your numbers aren't shifting as fast as you'd like, or you're just feeling stuck or discouraged. Trust me, I have been there. And I know how frustrating it is when you're doing all the right things, but it still feels like you're getting nowhere. So today, we're going to talk about why those small wins matter more than you think and why they're actually the key to long-term success. If you've been feeling discouraged, hang tight. This episode is going to give you a fresh perspective and help you stay the course with confidence. All right, let's dive in. First things first, let's just be real for a second. We live in a world that glorifies instant results. Everything is about quick fixes, crash diets, diet pills or shots, and overnight transformations. But healing your body, decreasing systemic inflammation, balancing your blood sugar, and truly reclaiming your health, that is not an overnight process. And yet, when we don't see dramatic results right away, it's easy to think, oh, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should just give up. Nothing is ever going to work for me. But let me remind you of something incredibly important. Your body is always working behind the scenes, even if you don't see the full picture yet. Think about a seed planted in the ground. You water it, give it sunlight, and for a while, it looks like nothing is happening. But underground, roots are forming, stretching out, getting stronger, and then one day a sprout breaks through. Your health journey works the same way. The small choices you make every day, what's on your plate, how you move, how you manage stress, are like those roots. Even when you can't see the full impact yet, those choices are creating a solid foundation that will eventually lead to visible, lasting change. So instead of only focusing on the big milestones, like getting to your goal weight, hitting your ideal A1C, or dropping a clothing size, let's talk about the small wins that are actually way more important. Here are some examples of small but mighty victories. You chose a high-protein breakfast instead of grabbing a sugary pastry. You drank water before reaching for coffee. You walked for 10 minutes after lunch instead of scrolling on your phone. You swapped soda for sparkling water or chose a bite-sized candy bar instead of a king-size one. You kept your blood sugar stable even during a stressful week. None of these things feel huge on their own, but when you string them together day after day, they create momentum. Momentum that turns into sustainable habits and habits that transform your health in a way that lasts. Let me tell you a quick story about one of my friends. When she first started working on her blood sugar, she felt like she wasn't making progress. Her weight wasn't changing fast, her numbers weren't improving overnight, but she stuck with it. A few weeks in, she realized something amazing. She wasn't crashing at 2 p.m. anymore. That tiny shift, that was a huge sign that her body was responding. And once she noticed that small victory, she felt encouraged to keep going. Fast forward 6 months, her A1C had dropped by over a full point. She had more energy than she'd had in years, and she was finally feeling in control of her health. And it all started with noticing and celebrating one small win. And for myself, I was discouraged because the scale wasn't moving fast. But guess what? One day I put on an old pair of jeans that had been way too tight before, and they fit. The scale hadn't changed much, but my body composition had. And because I stayed consistent, over time, the results did become more obvious. So how do we shift our mindset to truly trust the process and keep going when it feels slow? Here are 3 things that can make a massive difference. First off, start tracking your small wins. Keep a notebook or use the Notes app on your phone or sticky notes on your mirror. And every day, write down one positive thing, no matter how small. What is one positive thing that you did today? This keeps you focused on progress instead of perfection. Number 2, remember the compound effect. One healthy meal won't fix everything, and one indulgence won't ruin everything. But what you do consistently over time adds up. Think of it like drops of water filling a jar. It doesn't seem like much at first, but eventually it overflows. And number 3, find your why and keep it visible. Try to make your goal more than just lowering your A1C or making you fit into a smaller clothing size. Maybe it's more energy or feeling stronger in your body or having the freedom to enjoy life without worrying about blood sugar spikes or crashes. Write down your goal and post it somewhere visible and remind yourself daily, not just of the big why, but the little whys as well. So friend, if you're feeling frustrated, I want you to hear me loud and clear. You are not failing. Your progress is not too small to matter, and every good choice you make is moving you forward. Trust the process. Stay the course. Celebrate every small win along the way because those small wins, they are what create big, lasting change. So before you go, I would love to hear about your small wins. You can screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram or just shoot me a message and tag me at Wellness Through Unity. Tell me one tiny change that you've made lately that makes you feel good because I want to celebrate with you. And if this episode encouraged you, can you take a second to leave a review? It really helps more people find this podcast and get the encouragement that they need on their health journey as well. All right, friend, that is it for today. So keep going, stay consistent, and I'll see you next time on the Balanced Blood Sugar Podcast.